Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I want to look at a question from the question paper of June 2025. So we're going to look at question 4 of that question paper. So on the first question 4.1, which is identify any three basic communication tools that can be used to fulfill the marketing communication objectives. So you'll see that the marketing communication objectives uh, describe the specific intended effects a company wants to achieve from its messaging, and also what they want to achieve from the media efforts on a target audience, such as increasing brand awareness. It can be influencing attitudes, and also it can be driving specific actions like purchases or loyalty. So this is this description that we have in terms of marketing communication objectives. So in terms of the three basic communication tools, you'd see that in terms of that, we have them as mentioned, whereby we have advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, publicity. That is what we have in terms of that. Then moving on to the next question, which is going to be our question 4.2. It will explain the following types of labeling, whereby the first labeling that we have is brand labeling. So brand labeling, basically, it is a part of a product labeling that displays the brand's name and logo to establish brand recognition, and also it can be to establish loyalty or a distinctive identity for the product in the marketplace. So that is a brand labeling. So in terms of the brief description of brand labeling that we have, according to our memo, it reads displaying the brand name of the product or retailer as a brief description. Then we move on to the second part of our description, whereby we're going to look at informative labeling. So in terms of informative labeling, we are saying these labels can use words or visual symbols to present information. So we are going to notice that um, in terms of informative labeling, the label contains information about the product. It can be information about the ingredients. It can be information about nutritional values. So that is what we have on that part. Then we go to the next part, whereby we are now looking at grading labeling. So on grading labeling, basically it's a label that shows the grade of the product in terms of its quality. It can be the grade in terms of standard or class. So it gives the consumer an idea of the quality of what they are going to consume. So that is what we have in terms of grading labeling. So the brief description that we have is that the quality of the product appears on the label. The quality of the product appears on the label. So we go to the next question, which is going to be our question 4.3, which is this any six market factors that can influence the length of the distribution channel. So when we are looking at the distribution channel, it is basically a distribution channel. We are saying this is a network of a business of businesses through which a good or service passes until it reaches the final buyer. So basically, the network that the business passes through in terms of its goods or service until it reaches the final buyer represents the distribution channel. So basically, this distribution channel facilitates the journey of a product from the manufacturer. So that is what we have. So in terms of our question now, it means six market factors that can influence the length of the distribution channel. So these are the factors that we have. We are talking about the economy, geographical concentration of buyers, competition, buying habits of the market, existing distribution structures, quantitative and qualitative events. So these are some of the points that we can include as the market factors. Then we go to 4.4, identify any four conditions in which the skimming price strategy would be applied. And remember, the skimming price strategy, it is a price strategy where a marketer initially offers an item at a higher price, for instance, so that consumers with the strongest desire, and obviously they have the desire and also they have the funds to purchase that product, would be charged. Obviously, in that case, they will be charged a higher price, so that later on, as the demand goes down of that product, the price is lowered. So that is scheme price strategy. So Within that context, the question requires us to identify any four conditions in which the skimming price strategy would be applied. So in terms of that, the conditions is when a product is unique and new to the market. The potential customers know relatively little about the product. There are relatively few or no competitors in the market. Rapid recovery of an investment is needed. The organization is a leader in the industry. So further points we also have that are also correct in terms of that. Remember, our question only requires us to come up with. We can just check, refer back to the question. You see that our question requires us to come up with four conditions. So we are supposed to raise four conditions. So 4.5, name any 5 ways in which a manufacturer can prevent conflict in a distribution channel. So whenever there are conflicts, we are seeing there are disagreements that are emanating from the distribution channel. So within that context, you would see that the first point is providing point of sales advertising for intermediaries, also assisting with the planning of activities intermediaries undertake, and manufacturers giving intermediaries management assistance, giving training in conflict handling to personnel, eliminating intermediaries who are refusing to cooperate. So these are basically the points that we have. Moving on 4.6, it reads list and four benefits of barcoding and electronic scanning for the manufacturer. So we can start by having the description of a barcoding, whereby the barcoding is the method of representing data visually in a machine readable format, typically as a series of varying parallel lines and spaces that are read by an optical scanner. So obviously they should be read by an optical scanner. So basically, that's what we have in terms of barcoding. We also have electronic scanning, whereby electronic scanning, it encompasses the transformation that transpires when a physical document is converted to be a digital file. So we are saying it encompasses various processes that use electronics to scan and capture information, including using a scanner to convert physical documents into digital files. So what are the advantages that we can deduce from the two is indicated by the question, of course, and the question requires us to come up with 4 benefits. So within that context, you see that the benefits that we have are that standard product item numbers, and they are in terms of acceptance by retailers, feedback about sales of the new product, feedback about the achievements of the new product, identification of market inclinations. So these are the points that we have.